What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is John Paul Investing. So if you guys have been part of the channel already, you will know that we have been talking about Senseonics here for probably a couple of weeks now, maybe a few weeks. We have done our due diligence and we are finding out more and more positive things about this company. And we did manage to open a position today in Senseonics and we are already up 10% in our position. Yesterday, I released a video on the 10Q where I actually went into the details and read a few of the things that most people might have missed out had they not read the 10Q. Today, I wanted to cover a couple things that I missed out on yesterday's video, and I wanted to go over with you the current state of the technicals on the charts, just so you guys have an idea of what to expect going forward the rest of the week. Now, before I got into the video, guys, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. This way you get notified when I make videos just like this one, and it's a way for you to show your support for the channel. Also, if you would like access to our private community of almost 100 members in our Discord group, and also get notified when I buy and sell particular stocks that we talk about here on this channel, go ahead and check out the link in the description to the Patreon group. And lastly, Webull is offering up to 2 free stocks right now for the month of February. All you have to do is open an account with them and deposit $100, and you will get 2 free stocks valued at least $10 a piece. This is free money, you don't have to buy anything. So I think a lot of the reason that Senseonics rose in price today was because we were ahead of the curve and we managed to notice that in the 10Q they mentioned Ascensia would not be able to distribute any products in Europe until the agreement with Roche expired, and that expiration took place last night. Wall Street Journal actually didn't end up publishing the article about this until after market today. So if you had not read this, you would have only found out about this maybe 2.5 hours ago. But luckily here on this channel, we take the time to do our due diligence and figure out what exactly the company is doing, because they share this information with us publicly. But here are some details that I did leave out in yesterday's video that I will go over right now. And this ties into a video I made a few days ago on the PROMISE clinical study that they submitted to the FDA. In December 2018, we initiated the PROMISE pivotal clinical trial to evaluate the safety and accuracy of the Eversense XL for a period of up to 180 days in the United States. On September 30th, 2019, we completed enrollment of the PROMISE trial and had our last patient complete their 180-day visit during the first quarter of 2020. The 181 participants in the trial had the Eversense sensor inserted subcutaneously at 8 sites across the United States, where the safety and efficacy of the system was evaluated over a 180-day period. In trial, we observed performance matching that of the current Eversense 90-day product available in the United States already, with a mean absolute relative difference, or MARD, of 8.5 to 9.6%. This result was achieved with reduced calibration down to 1 per day, while also doubling the sensor life to 180 days. Following the result of the PROMISE trial on September 30th, a pre-market approval, or PMA, supplement application to extend the wearable life of the Eversense CGM 180 system was submitted to the FDA. If approved by the FDA, this new product would double sensor duration of Eversense in the United States, with half of the insertion and removal procedures required, and would provide more than 12 times longer the sensor duration of other CGM systems available in the US. We anticipate a decision in the first half of 2021, and if positive, we will begin transitioning patients in the United States to the new 180-day Eversense product. However, shelter-in-place orders and other impacts from CV-19 could alter or delay the timing of response by the FDA regarding our submission. So to summarize that paragraph, they were talking about the PROMISE study that we knew about, but what they added is that after the approval for the 180-day version, they're going to work to move everyone that already has the 90-day system to transition into the 180-day system. So that's essentially going to be new business for them as they work to getting the newer 180-day versions into patients who currently have the 90-day version. So again, Senseonics does not generate any revenue from the reselling process. They get their money whenever they ship to the distributors, and it's a flat rate. They don't get any extra money on that. The resellers do get to determine the price that they want to sell it at. So to make sense of this, essentially what this means is that distributors would likely have to order a ton more Eversense XLs after it gets approved by the FDA, because there will be demand from patients with the existing 90-day version that are going to want to transition into the 180-day version. Now here's another thing that you guys might not have known about the Eversense XL compared to their existing competitors in the continuous glucose monitoring space. On February 26, 2020, we announced that the FDA approved a subgroup of the PROMISE trial participants to continue for a total of 365 days to gather feasibility data on the safety and accuracy of a 365-day sensor. This subset of 30 participants who all had sensors with the modified chemistry will be left undisturbed for 365 days with the goal of measuring accuracy and longevity over the full 365 days. Following information gathered from this subset and continued development efforts, in the first half of 2021, we plan to seek investigational device exemption, or IDE, from the FDA. If the IDE is approved, we would then begin enrollment of a clinical trial in the second half of 2021 this year, which would also include a pediatric population. So in this second paragraph that I just read, they actually shared with us that out of the 181 participants that they had in the original PROMISE clinical study, 30 of the patients actually ended up leaving the sensor in their arm for another 185 days. And Senseonics is going to use the results from the 185 days to, convince the FDA that, like, hey guys, we have a product that actually lasts twice as long. Will you let us conduct a new trial, but this time leaving it in for a full year, in which we can then submit and hopefully get further approval from you guys? So this is their way to, get their foot in the door with the FDA to hopefully get another version rolled out, maybe, next year or the year after, for a full year version of the sensor, or 365 days. And to put that against their competitors, well, we already know that competitors last only between 5 to 9 days at a time. So if we're going to compare the 365-day version to the current CGM devices on the market right now, we're looking at a pretty much 40-time increase to their competitors. We are talking 40 less visits to the doctor. We're talking about 40 less times you have to, take things in and out of your body, 40 less possible chances for infection whenever you insert and remove the devices. And if you want to get super nitty-gritty, we're saving gas here. We're saving miles on our cars. And best of all, we're saving time, because if you live in metropolitan cities, you probably are going to be stuck in traffic on your way to the doctors anyways. So time really is money here, and I think this is really going to be a good thing that patients are going to love if they do end up getting the 365-day version approved. But that's still out of the picture, guys. We're focusing on the 180-day version right now. That's what matters to us at this point in time. That is what Asensio wants to see, and that is what we investors also want to see. I also wanted to bring up the fact that Senseonics does point towards more coverage for their devices from government-aided assistance programs like the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. We continue to see momentum of broad national payer acceptance, including on August 3rd, 2020, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or the CMS, released its calendar year 2021 Medicare Physicians Fee Schedule that announces proposed policy changes for Medicare payments, including the proposed establishment of national payment amounts for the 3 CPT Category 3 codes describing the insertion, removal and insertion, or the combination of both, of an implantable interstitial glucose sensor, which describes our SENS CGM system as a medical benefit rather than as a durable medical equipment channel that includes other CGMs. Key word here, guys, is that this is going to be a medical benefit, and they are essentially targeting specifically the SENS CGM. So the government has taken notice of Senseonics SENS products. And to add a little bit of icing on the cake for you guys, I found another piece of information that you guys are going to love. In April 2020, we announced that we received the regulatory approval in Europe such that the SENS XL is no longer contraindicated for MRI, which means the sensor does not need to be removed from under the skin during MRI scanning. We had previously obtained this indication for SENS in the United States in 2019. This MRI approval is the first for the continuous glucose monitoring category, as all other sensors on the market right now are required to be removed during an MRI scan. So they are the only CGM device on the market right now where you don't have to have the prerequisite of, having an MRI scan done while you're getting this thing removed from your body or replaced or whatever. You don't have to have an MRI scan if you want to use the SENS XL product, which we as investors can see as a barrier of entry for other competitors in this space. And just to show you guys, this is the CMS.gov, or the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. So right now I am on the Federal Register, and if we go to Wikipedia, we will learn that the Federal Register is the official journal of the federal government of the United States. And right now we are looking at the calendar year 2021 payment policies under the new physician fee schedules. So these are the codes that physicians are going to use whenever they bill insurance companies and things of that nature. At least that's how I think it works. I could be wrong. Anyone in the medical field, you can feel free to correct me there. But the point is that they added this new line here that includes the insertion, removal and insertion, or the combination of implantable interstitial glucose sensor systems. And these codes are 446, 447, and 448. If we go back to the 10Q, we will see the codes that we just saw: 446, 447. There's also 448 here, but I want to believe this is a typo of some kind, but pretty much it points to the same thing, which is the combination of insertion / removal. And lastly, I wanted you guys to take note of this small gap up that we saw after the Wall Street Journal did publish their article of the opening of the European market for Essentia. We could see a continued run for the rest of the week now that this news is out there. So anything below $3 at this point is pretty much fair value for this company, in my opinion. This is what the market is willing to pay for it right now. And I would not be surprised if the market starts to, FOMO on this just a little bit, just because they will start to learn a little bit more and more about the Eversense product, and we want to be ahead of the curve here. This is not financial advice, but I will say that this is likely to run for the rest of the week, especially now that the news of the European market is out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new information that I shared with you in this video. Do you think this puts Senseonics ahead of their competition even more so than you thought before? And what do you think stock price will do now that the news is out? But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. If you liked what you were watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.